Hi everyone, welcome back to SmugMug Live. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back. We're back after our summer break. I have missed being here. Hopefully you have missed joining in on our twice weekly episodes of SmugMug Live, but it's been really great to have a little bit of a break over the last month for the summer. So thank you so much for joining us today. And this is episode 103 of SmugMug Live. It's streamed live on Tuesday, August 24th, 2001. And as always, SmugMug Live is brought to you by SmugMug and Flickr. If you're looking for an incredible place to host your website, to showcase your images to the world, to store your images in the cloud with our incredible, robust cloud storage platform, or to sell your images to your clients, then check out everything we do here at smugmug.com. And if you want to be part of the most incredible photo community in the world, then check out everything we do at flickr.com. It's great to see some of you in there in the live chat already, a couple of familiar faces. As always, this show really revolves around you, the viewers. So give yourself a shout out in that chat window. Let me know who's joining us today and what part of the world you're joining us from. Mike, hi Mike, good to see you. He says, welcome back. Yes, I have been away with the family, having a little break from live streaming. I hope you have all had a wonderful summer. Hey Moro, good to see you. Joining us from the beautiful Slovenia, and James joining us from Canyon Lake. Good to see you again, James. Thank you all for joining us. The rest of you, give yourselves a shout out in that chat window, and let us see where you're joining from. This is a tips and tricks episode of SmugMug Live. So I've got a few tips lined up for you here today to talk about. But of course, if you have any questions, then that chat window is the place to ask those questions, because I can keep a little eye on that here. If you see me glancing off to the side, that's me keeping an eye on the chat window. Hey Bob, good to see you. Thank you from the welcome back. Hope things are well in New Jersey. Still here in Scotland, not at headquarters in San Francisco. Still not easy to travel around and travel back and forward, but it gives me an opportunity to do another season of SmugMug Live, and we've got some wonderful guests lined up over the coming weeks. So yeah, stick around and I'll introduce some ideas of what's coming in the weeks to come very, very shortly. So before I jump into my tips and tricks, last request from me is hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified whenever we release another episode here of SmugMug Live. Hit the little bell notification. That way YouTube will ping you and let you know when we release either an episode of SmugMug Live or a SmugMug film or any other content here on the channel. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to jump over here to my demo site. For those of you who are not familiar, this is episode 103. So as I say every week, a lot of catching up to do if you have not been with us before. For those of you that have been with me, you'll recognize this demo site that we've spent the last year, last 18 months, it feels like, working on and doing some things to this site to give you tips and tricks and a real inside knowledge of how to use your SmugMug account. And over the 100 odd episodes, we have had incredible guests join us, but I've also dived into all the nooks and crannies that a SmugMug account has. So going forward, tips and tricks, we're going to start kind of perhaps going over some old ground, but it'll be a good refresher for all of you. Nick, good to see you. It's great to be back. Thank you so much. Anthony, good to see you. He's joining us from the Peak District, or just on the edge of the Peak District. Beautiful part of the UK. So thank you for joining us. So yeah, let's dive into a couple of tips and tricks. A couple of things that I want to mention today. One of them is something I bang on about all the time, but let's dive into the organizer here on the site. And when you are working on your SmugMug site, as well as having photographs on your site, there are other things you need on your site. There are what I call site assets, the things you use to customize and design your site. So logos, your company logo, profile pictures of yourself, maybe graphic content that you want to, add graphics to pages that you design. What else? Maybe videos. If I go back to the photo site, the main page, the home page here, you'll see there's a video streaming in the background, which we've covered adding that before, and I'll cover that again in weeks to come. But all those things, here you see my logo, the video playing in the background. If we go to my contact page, you'll see here, contact sheet there. Sorry, it was my About Me page, actually, I meant to go to. If you go to my About Me page, you'll see that there are some images here and this profile picture of myself. So these are all things I've been using to design and customize this site. And what I always bang on about is to create a site files or site assets gallery. So over here on the left of the screen, you can see here I have a gallery called Site Files Do Not Delete. And this is where I store all the assets for my site. Anything that's in here, I clearly know that I'm probably using it on my site somewhere. So anything that I put in here or move around, I need to make sure it stays in this gallery. Once I've added something to this gallery, I'll probably never delete it. I'll maybe just add it somewhere else if I need it somewhere else. But anything in this gallery, the fact that I say do not delete, I just reassure myself that everything in this gallery is being used. And I've got various types of logo. I've got two different color schemes here. So if I'm using it on a dark page or a white page, I've got a logo that works. As I say, my profile pictures and that little video that I've used. But you could have hundreds of site assets depending on how creative you are with the customization of your site. So site files gallery. And yeah, I've just called it do not delete. So if I go to the settings of this gallery, that's just the title of the page, is just to clarify to me that these are all assets that I need and cannot delete from this gallery. Of course, it could also be a site assets folder. So I could create a folder that has multiple galleries within the folder. I could have the folder that says site assets do not delete, and then within that I could have a gallery for just profile pictures, a gallery for just videos, a gallery for just graphic details, graphic content that I'm using to create those graphics on my pages. It's just a nice way to reassure yourself that everything that makes your site look amazing is stored in a place that you're not going to accidentally delete or remove from your site. So my number one tips and tricks: as soon as you've started your site, create your first gallery as site files gallery. And if you look at the settings here, if I look at the security and sharing tab of this gallery, you'll see that this gallery is what we call unlisted. If you remember, we have three types of viewing opportunities with your galleries, three viewing settings. So your gallery could be public. That means anybody that comes to your site can see that gallery if they land on a page where that gallery is hosted. It can be unlisted, which this specific gallery is unlisted. That means it's not going to show anywhere on my site. It's only going to be myself that sees it in my organizer, or if I'm using an image from within that gallery somewhere, the image will be seen, but people won't be able to go to my portfolios page, for instance, and see a gallery that says site files do not delete, because they won't see it because it's unlisted. And of course the other one is private, so only me as the account owner can see that gallery, and the pictures can't be used anywhere on the site if they're private. So make your site assets gallery unlisted, and that way they'll never show up anywhere on your site. Right, let's see if there's any questions pop in. Folks, at any point, if you're watching today and you have a question for me, just type it in the chat window. Start it with the word question so I can find it easily in the chat, and I'll get to your questions. But that was tip number 1 for today. The second tip I want to talk about is how to order galleries and folders within your organizer so that they show up on a page in the sequence, in the order that you want them to be seen, right? So let's go back to my site here, and let's go back to the home page. So here we are at my home page. If you've joined me in previous episodes, you'll know that I created a clients gallery here. And if clients come to this site and they click on the clients gallery, they can decide if they want to see their wedding images, their portrait images, or commercial work for a commercial client. If you click on my wedding clients folder, you'll see that within here are all the other folders that are stored within that main wedding clients folder, and you can see here they go back chronologically 2001 all the way back to 2008. Again, it's a demo site, so they're not all populated. Let's go have a look at that in the organizer. So if I click organize this folder, it takes me back to the organizer. So let's zoom in here. I have a clients galleries folder, which is where that button links to on my homepage menu, on my navigation menu. Within that, you saw those 3 choices of are you a wedding client, are you a portrait client, or are you a commercial client. If I expand the wedding clients folder, you can see that I have all those other folders going back by date. And if you go into one of those folders, you'll see the individual galleries within those folders. Again, just a selection of galleries I've made for this demo site here. So looking at the main folder, you can see on the organizer here, they're in sequence going back 2001 all the way back to 2008. So again, if we go back to the actual website, you'll see that is the order that they're in. So a very simple way to understand how your clients are going to see all these folders is the order they're in here in the organizer. If you add a folder to a page on your website, that is the order they will see on the site. Now, just to prove it, let's take this 2017 folder and we'll move that out of sequence so that it goes 2021, 2020, 2017. So you can see I've rearranged the sequence there. And if we now go back to the website, you will see that 2017 is now in that order that it's shown in the website. Now, it doesn't make sense for this folder because it's in chronological order so that the clients can find their weddings based on the year that they got married. But you might have a use case where you specifically want the galleries on a page or the folders on a page to be in a specific sequence. So you can just pick the sequence within the organizer, and that is how they will show up. So just to show that, if we go back to clients galleries, go back to the wedding clients folder, I'm just going to move that 2017 back there. So that it's in the order I want. And moving images around or moving folders or moving galleries around within the organizer is just drag and drop. Or we have a sort facility here. It's probably a little bit obscured by the SmugMug Live logo, but the kind of drop downs here allow you to sort manually, sort by date, sort by title, sort by date modified, but you can simply just drag and drop those images around. So very, very simple to do that. There is one place where that sequence can be adjusted. So let's go back to the photo site. And if we go to my portfolio page, if I click on the portfolio page, again, this is a portfolio page that I designed probably many months ago now, live on the show. But you can see here within this portfolios page, I'm showcasing my galleries that I want people to see in my portfolio. So landscape images, monochrome images, seascapes gallery, fashion, and you can see there's a specific order that they've been added to this page. Now, just to let you see how that order was chosen, This page, if I go to the Customize tab, I click on Customize, I'm going to now customize this page. And you can see in the location pane up here on the right, I'm just customizing this page. I'm not customizing the home page or the entire site. It's just the specific portfolio page I'm working on. And on this page, there's a content block called galleries. You can see it here as I hover over it. It has all the galleries that I specifically wanted to add to that page. If I go into the settings of that content block, you can see here that I added 6 galleries. But that content block is filled with galleries, and there's a select from. So this select from tab, this tells that content block what to put in on the page. And what I did is, rather than say all galleries, so it would show every gallery I had, the option I picked was galleries I choose. And when you choose that, you then have to go in and physically pick those galleries yourself. And you go into the gallery picker. The sequence that you pick these galleries is the sequence they will show up on the page. So the first one you pick will be first, the second one will be second, etc., etc. So in this case, the content block itself is not controlled by how they're laid out in the organizer, because I'm choosing specific galleries only, not all galleries. So it's the order in which I choose these 6 galleries that I've picked, which will determine how they are shown on this page. So again, when you add a content block of galleries, you can control the layout, the order that they come in, but that's done in the gallery picker within the content block itself. Right, let's see. It all sounds very quiet on the chat. I don't hear any pings coming in the chat, so obviously no questions coming yet. Before I go to my next tip, I want to tell you a little bit about what's coming up on the next episode. There's no episode on Thursday this week. I'm getting myself back into the SmugMug live streaming bit gently with one episode this week and one next week. On tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, August 25th, 2001, I'm delighted that we are launching another of our films in our One Day One Artist series. Here on this YouTube channel, SmugMug Films, you will find playlists for SmugMug Live, of course. You will find playlists for SmugMug Live tips and tricks episodes, but you'll also find this wonderful playlist called SmugMug Films. And within there are lots and lots of wonderful, inspiring films that we have made over the last 9 years here on SmugMug Films, showcasing some of the best photographers in the world and spending time with them and making films about the incredible photography that they do. And you know, these films have had millions and millions of views. During lockdown, it's been pretty difficult to make those films, so we haven't been making big production SmugMug Films, unfortunately, just because we can't really do that under the restrictions during the kind of pandemic. What we have been able to do is make some films, which we created this new series called One Day One Artist, and it's where we spend a 24-hour period with a photographer, and we just record their kind of day, what they get up to that day, whether it's doing a specific job or whether it's just spending some time with them, following them in their passion for photography. And I'm delighted that tomorrow we're launching a new One Day One Artist film featuring the wonderful Alex Kwan. Alex is based out of Los Angeles. He is an incredible photographer, content producer, filmmaker, just really, really wonderful guy. And we managed to spend some time with him back in his hometown of Chicago, one of my favorite cities in the world. And we spent the whole day with him recording some of his favorite photographic spots around the city. That film will be launching tomorrow. I have a very, very short tease of that film, which I will play now. And then when we come back, we'll get into another tips and tricks. So here's a little tease of the film that we're launching tomorrow, featuring Alex.
My name is Alex Kwan. I am a creator based out of Los Angeles. I am back in my hometown of Chicago. And we're going to run around to some of my old stomping grounds and just see what we can get.
So yeah, running around Chicago all day to some of the best photo spots in Chicago with Alex. He did a wonderful job of showcasing, some of the best urban street photography, landscape photography that you'll find, cityscapes that you'll find within Chicago. So wonderful film. That will be launching tomorrow morning, as I say, Wednesday, August 25th. And what's even more exciting is Alex is going to be my first guest of the new season here on SmugMug Live. He will be joining me next Tuesday, which I believe is August the 31st. So, look forward to hosting Alex with us. I'm also going to be joined by my colleague Anton, who's our in-house filmmaker who makes these films with myself and our wonderful, wonderful guests. So, join us next week, next Tuesday, for a great SmugMug Live with Alex. And of course, I will let you know about that on social media, etc., as we get closer to that episode. James has a question. Alastair, is there anything online that lists all your SmugMug episodes and their content? Yes, there is. There's actually a blog post over at over at SmugMug, of course, on our blog. Let me just try and find that for you. Excuse me while I search through this website while you're not looking. But there's a blog post that showcases all the episodes. Let's see if I can find it, because I was in there recently. I'll post it here in the chat for you. Sorry while I grab that. So I'm just posting that in the chat for you there, James. That blog post will take you to a blog about the episodes that are coming up. I need to populate it with the episodes that are coming up over the coming weeks. But there's also a whole list there of the previous 102 episodes, which there's links on that list, so you can go watch them. Of course, James, here on the YouTube channel, there is a playlist that says SmugMug Live. If you click that playlist, it will show you all the episodes, and there's a tips and tricks playlist which specifically calls out the tips and tricks episodes if you just want to watch them. And within the description here on YouTube, I typically go in and fill in just what we spoke about that week. I try and adjust the title after I've done the live episode, so that the title gives a little insight into what that episode specifically talks about. So if you're looking for episodes featuring all the guests and all the incredible guests that have joined me over the last 100 episodes, I can't believe how fortunate I am to have so many wonderful photographers join me. Those are in the SmugMug Live playlist. If you're just looking for tips and tricks on how to use SmugMug, then check out the tips and tricks playlist right there. Right, one last little tip from me, and then we'll get to your questions if there's any more. So if you've got questions, now's a very, very, very good time to ask it, so that we get to it before the end of the show. I want to call out this little tab up here in the top. Let's see, can I zoom in on that? I don't think I can. Yeah. So this little tab up here called What's New. When you're logged into your SmugMug site, you'll see it appears up here, right? It's above the SmugMug Live logo, but it's right next to your profile picture, which is your settings tab. This What's New tab, occasionally when you're logged in, you'll see it has a little icon, a little blue icon that maybe has a number in it. Maybe it says 1, 2, 3, whatever. That is telling you that we have posted some information in there about new things on your SmugMug site, or new things at SmugMug. So if you click on What's New, it will open this, what we call release notes. So it will open this release note telling you about something new that we've launched or released in relation to your SmugMug site. And you'll see that recently we added some new products to our e-commerce opportunities with White House Custom Color, one of our partner print labs. We added the ability to sell these wonderful acrylic blocks that White House are now doing. Wonderful ways to sell your images as a pretty unique desktop solution. Really love the acrylic blocks, and also doing some new acrylic prints specifically with White House custom colors. So if you build a price list on your SmugMug site and you choose White House custom color as the lab, then you can now add acrylic blocks, these new acrylic prints with these beautiful fine art papers, fine art gloss paper or metallic prints behind, this, extremely clear acrylic. Just looks absolutely phenomenal. And we also added some new frame print options with some new frame options available in the price list with White House custom color. And then something that's quite incredible is with Bay Photo, our partner lab out there in California. Bay Photo are now doing what they call epic prints, and it's a good name for them because they are epic. These are some of the highest definition prints I have ever seen in over 20 years in this industry. These are like real life. These are the highest quality, the highest definition of print I've seen. And when you print these epic prints and they mount them, on aluminium, it's higher depth than I can describe. There's no way we could represent on a live stream just the quality of these epic prints that are available now through Bay Photo. If you are wanting to give your clients the wow factor where they see their image almost as if they're looking at the live scene with their own eyes, or they're looking at an 8K TV, this quality is absolutely stunning. So check out that. So, and again, in the What's New tab, you can scroll through older news that is there as well. If you were here just before this, the summer break, then you'll have seen the episode where we announced SmugMug Source, the ability to now manage your raw assets on SmugMug. So storing and sharing and managing and manipulating those raw files that you have is now available on SmugMug via SmugMug Source. So that is the What's New tab right up here in the very top. And as I say, you might not use it or see it very often, but occasionally you'll see a little badge icon on it telling you that there's something new in the What's New tab. So keep an eye on that. It's a good way to get to know what's happening at the company. Of course, SmugMug Live, I'll always highlight new stuff that we're doing as well. Nick, thank you for the question. Can you only have one lab or one per gallery on your site? So, great question. You can only have one lab per gallery. So if you have one of our e-commerce plans, so either a portfolio or a pro plan, then you can choose a lab or you can build a price list and assign a lab to that price list, and then assign that price list to galleries within your site. So a price list can only have one gallery associated with it. If you are on our pro plan, you can have as many price lists as you want. So you can build various price lists, one with one lab specifically for wedding clients, one with another lab specifically for your international clients that are here in Europe, and you want to choose Loxley Color because they're out here in Europe and can supply that easier than Bay Photo or White House Custom Color. So pro plan, multiple price lists so that you can have different labs associated with those price lists and assign those to different galleries. But you can only assign one price list per gallery. So if you, Nick, were perhaps thinking that you wanted to offer a gallery to your clients in South Africa or Europe, but you also wanted to sell images to clients in the US, then the best thing you can do is actually create two galleries, and the galleries have the exact same content and the same images, but one gallery has a price list maybe for Loxley Color to supply Europe. The other gallery has maybe Bay Photo assigned to it to let your US clients have a local experience. So that would be the way around that. And then on your site, you just have your clients, answer the question, where are you in the world? And if they click on the US, then they see all the galleries that you want to offer to your US clients. Just looking at my notes, I covered price lists back in episode 75. So Nick, go back to episode 75, and hopefully I covered a lot of that in that episode, but maybe in a future episodes of tips and tricks, I can maybe show some examples of, good friends of ours, ambassadors of ours, who use a kind of call to action where they ask their customers, where are you in the world? And then that leads them on a journey to create an experience for them that's local. Smart galleries might work. You told us about them a while back. Smart galleries, again, a smart gallery is just a single gallery that has some rules, which is how it populates the gallery. So a smart gallery, you could say, populate this gallery with every image that has the word lion in the keywords or the title, and it will populate that gallery. But the gallery can only have one price list. It's the same as any other gallery. It can only have one price list, which means one lab on that price list. So the way around it is multiple galleries, and have your clients choose which gallery is appropriate to them. Remember, with all our SmugMug plans, you have unlimited storage of your high-res JPEG files, so you can create as many galleries as you want, other than a little bit of duplication of having to upload those galleries. But I'll show you some examples in weeks to come. Remind me, Nick, that you want maybe to see that experience of how to kind of localize the experience for your customers when they come to buy, and we can cover that and show you some examples of that in weeks to come. Right, very, very last call for questions, and then we'll wrap it up with a fairly short episode to get back into the swing of it. For those of you that are new, these episodes typically go an hour. We can typically get into some tips and tricks and some questions and get into the weeds and string these shows out for an hour, which, I'll be honest, some people write to me and tell me it's way too long, and give me a hard time about these episodes being an hour long. But today we'll finish up just now at about 30 minutes, and we'll ease back into the new season. As always, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That way you'll be notified whenever I'm live streaming here on SmugMug Live. Please check out the new One Day One Artist film tomorrow with Alex Kwan. It's going to launch probably early morning Pacific time, maybe sort of afternoon time here in Europe. And yeah, give me a thumbs up on the channel as well. It really is a great way to support what we do, but it really, from the algorithm point of view, it lets other people find the content, lets other people get help from SmugMug Live by you hitting that thumbs up, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you for being kind and welcoming me back to the new season and being gentle on me with the questions on this first episode. I will see you back here next Tuesday for our wonderful show with Alex and Anton next week. But for now, wherever you are in the world, you know what I'm going to say. Stay safe, be kind, look after each other, and we'll see you back here very, very soon on SmugMug Live. Take care, folks. Bye.